Hey, what's up, everybody? Frederick Pogue here. You ever been in a lopsided relationship? One that kind of just turned sour. It wasn't really bad, but it wasn't good either. And what I mean by lopsided was you were kind of more easygoing. They were a little more insistent, a little more picky. Things kind of had to be their way. And at first, you didn't really mind. You were just like, all right, whatever. But over time, it just got to be annoying because they just kind of assumed it was always what they wanted. They never really bothered to ask you, hey, what do you want to do? So over time, you just kind of went along with it. But then things started to get bad. They started to get more and more erratic. And the things they used to help you out with, well, those were long gone. But they made a recovery. They kind of said, yeah, we're sorry, da da da. And you thought, all right, we'll keep on going. But then they relapsed. And not only did they relapse, it was worse than before. And so now you're left wondering, man, this is bad. This is the second time. And I don't want to be here anymore. Now, when that thought first hit you, you start getting scared because it's change, and that's natural. It's normal. But you start thinking about all the obstacles, all the challenges, and it seems overwhelming. And you kind of just say, well, we'll wait and see. Hopefully things will calm down again. And maybe this time it'll stick. They'll be better and it'll stick. But nope. It ain't sticking. And then eventually you say, I got to get out of this. I mean, no matter what it takes, I got to get out of this because I can't keep doing this. And you start down that path, and then you find out it ain't as hard as you thought it would be, that you can do that. That now you're not looking at just the obstacles and the challenges, but you're seeing the possibilities and the opportunities. Hell, you're even remembering what you used to be like before the relationship that you got into. You want a little bit of that again. You ever been one of those? That's what Europe's going through right now. That's what Canada's going through, and Mexico. See, this world order that Trump is upsetting right now, well, it's lasted for 80 years, ever since the end of World War II. And there was the big bad Soviet Union. And when it was around, it was pretty scary. You had two superpowers that were poised to annihilate everyone. Well, Russia's kind of a poor imitation of that. And frankly, we've had our own stuff going on, post 9/11, global war on terror, all the ruckus we created all over the place. And then now with Trump and all these threats to NATO and everything else, doesn't feel like that old world order is there anymore. And now you're even wondering, heck, why are we doing this? Because I know the maggots like to complain that Germany doesn't contribute a lot. But here's the thing. The reason they don't, GDP-wise, well, that's part of the agreement we've made with them since the end of World War II. I mean, their country was on the other side of us for both World War I and II. And so, we didn't want them rebuilding again. That's why we have an Air Force base over there. Same thing with Japan. While they were not on the Axis side in World War I, in World War II, they did some pretty messed up stuff over in Asia. And that's why they don't call their military, an army. It's called a defense force. It's that way by design. It's written in their constitution. But things are changed now. Things are different. And you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing. Heck, that might be a good thing for us. Because while the countries in the EU are starting to take those steps, getting ready to leave, oh, it's there. You've got Norway telling us that we can't use their ports for refueling our submarines. You've got Sweden that's going to buy their guided missiles now from Germany, not from American defense contractors. They're taking their first steps to what, an EU with its own NATO that doesn't have problem actors like the United States or Hungary or Turkey, what that might look like. Because almost unequivocally, they all came out and supported Ukraine after that disastrous Oval Office meeting. Because it is in Europe's best interest to have a free Ukraine, to keep Russia the hell out of there. And you know what? If the United States won't go along with it, I guess they'll pick up the slack. And that's the other thing, too. Nothing motivates a person or an organization like have to. It's not, well, I'd like to. No, you have to. And sometimes people meet that with an enthusiasm and ability that they didn't know they had. They rise to the occasion. There's like a new jolt of energy because they're let loose from this old relationship. Europe might be heading to that. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. But they might be. And then there's us. And while a lot of people are freaking out over loss of our power, loss of our prestige, sometimes you need that. Especially when you're the person that, you kind of caused this mess in the relationship. You were the one that kind of forced it to change. Maybe scale was tipping a little bit over or a little more than you want to admit into what you did. Be good to sit back and reflect. Maybe think why we spend close to $1 trillion a year in defense spending when we've got all these other problems with healthcare and schools and poverty. Maybe we don't need to have, 800 military installations worldwide? Maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing for some of these European countries and other countries to pick up some of the slack. Hell, it might balance things out because, let's face it, if you really study what the U.S. does when they go into places and start making demands, especially with military actions and everything else, we're a little rough. We don't have that good of a track record. Yeah, we've got some wins, but the losses are real ugly. So I guess what I'm saying is, sometimes breakups and changes are best for both parties, even though each party kind of goes a different way and maybe needs to look at things a little differently. Maybe that's where we're headed. Maybe. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Keep the faith, defend democracy, and I'll see you later.